Today we're going to talk about our second of the big three clubs in Portugal. That's Sporting Clube de Portugal, also known as Sporting CP for short, and outside of Portugal, generally known as Sporting Lisbon, based off of where they're located. Portuguese pronunciation of the club name is essentially Esporting Clube de Portugal. This club is nicknamed the Lions. You will always see that on their badge throughout their history. It's also been there with their iconic colors of green and white. They were founded back in 1906, funnily enough, as an offshoot of another club after a fight at a picnic. They're one of Portugal's most decorated clubs, having won their league 19 different times, although they have had two different title droughts throughout their history from 1982 to 2000, and then from 2002 right up till 2021. They were really the original force within Portuguese football, being particularly dominant in the 1940s and 50s and into the 60s. Even with those title droughts, Sporting has still found success in the Portuguese Cup, Super Cup, and League Cup, having won all three multiple times in the last couple decades, though the league still has been dominated by their two main rivals, those being FC Porto and their crosstown and more hated rival, Benfica. Many call it the most important rivalry match in all of Portugal. It's definitely the biggest one in the city, known as the Derby de Lisboa, and it's probably the most intense one you're going to find in the country, generally going kind of violent as well as intense as far as big matches that end seasons and determine the title winner. It's had a lot of upsets, it's had blowouts either way for Benfica or for Sporting. It's included pitch invasions at times by supporters, including one death, and one time that Sporting fans tried to light a stadium on fire. Even amongst their other rivalry with Porto, which has to do with city against city and social and regional issues, fans from either side are going to tell you that they hate Benfica more. Regardless of changes in success in the recent decades for Sporting, their remaining jewel that always stayed the same is the fact that they have an incredible youth system that has produced some of Portugal's finest ever players. As an example, in the Euro 2016 final, one that Portugal won against France, 10 of the 14 players that played for Portugal came from Sporting's academy. So they're renowned for bringing Portuguese talent up that goes worldwide, such as Nani, as well as João Moutinho in the past, more recently, Rafael Leao, who's currently at AC Milan, and absolute legends of the Portuguese and the world game, such as Luis Figo, as well as one Cristiano Ronaldo. Also in their past, you can count 5 of the greatest players to ever play in Portugal, collectively known as the 5 Violins, led by Fernando Peiroteo. The other 4 names you need to know are Jose Travassos, Albano Pereira, Jesus Correa, and Manuel Vasquez. Let's talk about Pedro Porro, who at right back is one of their best players at the moment, having come over from the City Football Group and is being looked at from a lot of big clubs around Europe. Their best attacking talent at the moment, arguably, is their winger, Pedro Gonçalves, who through just half of the season already has 7 goals and 3 assists. And finally, they have a young Portuguese defender, one hopefully in the long line of great Portuguese center backs in Gonçalo Inácio, which is a good thing for the Portuguese national team, seeing as 2 of their longest serving members are kind of aging out of the squad at 39, those being Jose Font and the madman Pepe, who I assume would slide tackle his own mother on the halfway line just to get the ball. So that's your rundown on Sporting CP from Portugal.